AITA for kicking out the real estate lawyer that my fiance brought to my house. I, 31F, am writing here today because I genuinely need some outside perspective. I've been with my fiance, Scott, 34M, for 5 years, and while our relationship has had its challenges, this recent incident has thrown me for a loop. First, let me give you some context. My mom passed away 7 months ago, and I've been navigating grief ever since. She was my last remaining parent and my absolute rock. Losing her has been one of the hardest experiences of my life, and honestly, I'm still learning how to move forward without her. When my mom passed, she left me her house. This is the house I grew up in, filled with memories of love, laughter, and warmth. 3 months ago, I officially became the sole owner, which felt surreal. It's bittersweet to own the home now, knowing she's not here to share it with me. But it's also a comfort to have this tangible piece of her legacy. Around the same time I became the official owner, Scott proposed to me. Now, we've talked about marriage in the past, but he always said he wanted to wait until he was ready. I wasn't pressuring him. I was happy with where we were. So, when he proposed out of the blue, I was surprised. Thrilled, of course, but also a bit puzzled. The timing felt convenient. Still, I chalked it up to life aligning in mysterious ways and said yes. A few weeks ago, Scott brought up the idea of adding his name to the title of my house. At first, I didn't even understand what he meant. I was like, why? We're not married yet, and as far as I knew, there wasn't any reason to rush something like this. He explained that adding his name to the title would balance our relationship and make things feel more equal. That comment threw me off. I've never made Scott feel lesser because he doesn't own property, and I certainly don't view our relationship through the lens of financial assets. I love him for who he is, not for what he owns or doesn't own. For some added context, I make more money than Scott. That's never been an issue for me. We've always worked as a team, and I've never used money as a measure of worth or power in our relationship. So when he started talking about balance, I felt blindsided. At first, I thought he was just feeling insecure, so I tried to reassure him. I told him that I trusted him and that we were building a future together, but adding his name to the house title was something I wasn't comfortable doing right now. I said that if we wanted to revisit the idea after we got married, I'd be open to discussing it then. He wasn't satisfied with that answer. Scott kept bringing it up. He'd drop little comments here and there like, "Don't you trust me?" Or, "I thought we were a team." It started to feel less like a conversation and more like he was trying to wear me down. I stood firm. I told him this wasn't about trust or teamwork. It was about timing. I reminded him that once we were married, everything would be shared anyway, but I wasn't ready to make such a significant decision before then. But the more he pushed, the more uncomfortable I felt. It wasn't just about the house anymore. It was about his approach. Instead of respecting my boundaries, he seemed determined to get his way. Yesterday, I came home from work to find Scott at my house with a real estate lawyer. Yes, you read that right. Without telling me, he had hired a lawyer and arranged for the legal process to start. I was stunned. I felt my heart drop the moment I walked through the door and saw them sitting at the dining table. Papers spread out like this was some casual meeting. Scott greeted me like nothing was wrong and introduced the lawyer, saying, "We're ready to get everything sorted." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I immediately asked the lawyer to leave. He tried to explain why he was there, but I cut him off and said I hadn't agreed to this and that he needed to go. The lawyer packed up his things and left, looking thoroughly uncomfortable. Once we were alone, Scott exploded. He accused me of being selfish, disrespectful, and dramatic. He said I had embarrassed him in front of the lawyer and undermined him as my partner. I shot back that he had crossed a major boundary by bringing a lawyer into my home without my consent. I told him his constant pushing was making me rethink the entire arrangement. That's when he looked at me like I had just slapped him. He grabbed his things and stormed out, slamming the door behind him. Since then, we've barely spoken. When we do talk, it's nothing but arguments. He keeps saying I'm being unreasonable and that I'm not considering his feelings. He says he's just trying to ensure a stable future for us and that I'm being stubborn and uncooperative. I've tried explaining that this isn't about being stubborn. It's about feeling railroaded. This house isn't just property to me. It's my childhood home, a connection to my mom. Adding his name to the title is a big deal, and the fact that he doesn't seem to understand that makes me question his motives. He keeps accusing me of not trusting him, and honestly, I'm starting to wonder if he's right. This whole situation has shaken my faith in our relationship. I love Scott, but the way he's handled this feels manipulative and disrespectful. Part of me feels guilty for how I handle things. Maybe I overreacted by kicking the lawyer out without hearing them out. Maybe I should have been calmer and more open to discussion. I know Scott feels hurt and disrespected, and I hate that this situation has caused such a rift between us. At the same time, I can't ignore the fact that he went behind my back. He didn't just ask me to reconsider. He tried to force my hand. That feels like a huge breach of trust. I'm at a loss. I don't know if I'm being overly sensitive or if Scott is showing me red flags I should be paying attention to. So, Reddit, AITA for kicking out the lawyer and refusing to add Scott's name to the house title before we're married? Or am I letting my emotions cloud my judgment?